You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Welcome back to Icons of Influence, the podcast where we explore the stories of those who've not just shaped culture, but have done so with courage, creativity, and a deep commitment to authenticity. Today's episode is all about someone who, quite frankly, could have become a cautionary tale, but instead became a beacon of growth, reinvention, and joy. We're talking about the incomparable Drew Barrymore. From child stardom and personal struggles to Hollywood icon, businesswoman, and now beloved daytime host, Drew's journey is anything but linear. But that's exactly what makes it so powerful. Let's dive into the wild, wonderful story of a woman who learned to rise again and again with her arms wide open. Drew Barrymore was born into Hollywood royalty, part of the famed Barrymore acting dynasty. Acting was practically in her blood. She made her film debut at just 5 years old and stole America's heart at 7 with her role in E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. She was sweet, quirky, and captivating, the poster child of early 80s success. But behind the scenes, things were unraveling fast. By the time most kids were navigating middle school, Drew was partying at Studio 54. She was exposed to alcohol and drugs as a young child, became a tabloid fixture before she was a teenager, and by 13 she had already been in and out of rehab. Imagine that, rehab at 13. She became emancipated from her parents at 14, legally cutting ties and essentially raising herself. Most child stars would have burned out, many did. But Drew, she didn't just survive, she slowly, courageously rebuilt. Her early life was chaos, but it laid the groundwork for one of the most surprising and inspiring second acts in Hollywood history. By her late teens and early 20s, Drew Barrymore was ready to reclaim her narrative. She took bold, sometimes risky roles, often playing against type to prove she wasn't just the girl from E.T. anymore. Movies like Poison Ivy, Scream, and The Wedding Singer reintroduced her to audiences in a whole new way. Quirky, charming, a little edgy, and full of heart. Then came Never Been Kissed, Charlie's Angels, 50 First Dates, and suddenly she wasn't just back, she was beloved. But it wasn't just about acting. Drew wanted control, so she founded Flower Films, her own production company, and began producing many of the films she starred in. That move was powerful. It gave her the ability to shape stories, cast diverse talent, and create the kind of roles that reflected her own journey. Complex, messy, joyful women with agency and spark. Through Flower Films, she helped redefine the rom-com genre, making it smarter, more self-aware, and emotionally rich. She also redefined what it meant to be a Hollywood comeback. She didn't pretend to be perfect. She didn't erase her past. She owned it and used it as fuel for everything that came next. In her 30s and 40s, Drew Barrymore took another leap, this time into entrepreneurship and media. She launched Flower Beauty, a cruelty-free, affordable beauty brand aimed at helping women feel beautiful without breaking the bank. It was authentic to her, fun, colourful, unpretentious, and it resonated. Then came The Drew Barrymore Show, a daytime talk show that feels like a warm hug. It's quirky, unscripted, deeply personal, and unlike anything else on daytime television. And that's the point. She doesn't pretend to have it all figured out. She laughs, she cries, she fangirls over her guests. She's delightfully human, and that's what makes her so powerful. In a world of perfectly curated social feeds and brand personas, Drew leads with vulnerability. She talks openly about motherhood, mental health, loneliness, and healing, not from a place of expertise, but from lived experience. And what's brilliant is that her business ventures, her content, her media presence, they all align. It's not just a brand, it's her messy, joyful, flawed, fabulous self. So what is Drew Barrymore's legacy? It's not just the films, the beauty brand, or the talk show. It's the permission she gives others to be fully themselves. She represents radical joy, the idea that it's okay to be both wounded and wonderful, that you can laugh through pain, that you can start over again and again and still find magic. She's proof that healing isn't linear, that softness is strength, and that being open doesn't mean being naive, it means being brave. Drew Barrymore has taught us that reinvention doesn't have to be polished. It can be messy, loud, weird, real. And in being relentlessly herself, she's become a beacon for others trying to do the same. In an era of overproduced everything, Drew stands out by being delightfully unproduced. And honestly, that might be her most influential move yet. That's it for today's episode of Icons of Influence. Drew Barrymore isn't just a star, she's a survivor, a storyteller, and a radiant force of positivity who's shown us that the most powerful comeback is the one rooted in compassion and truth. If this episode resonated with you, be sure to follow, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration today. And remember, influence isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. Until next time, I'm Hannah Halley, and this is Icons of Influence.